So if you see Fields returning a kick, there may be a decent chance you see him do this a little bit in real life. Now let's move on to the boom tech stuff. So this is the new physics system in the game. So you're going to see a lot of things with the hits and the impacts and the ball carriers. It's a lot more data driven is what they're saying. And look, if you've playing the beta, you've seen the changes here. The tackling and the collisions and the interactions are much more authentic than they've been. And I've even said this in my gameplay review video. You know, there's still a lot of work they can do there. There's still some times where it doesn't look the most clean, but it's definitely the most physics-based Madden we've ever had. If you've played the game, you know this already. You know, the hits are more realistic. You can see some of them in the video. They're showing you how guys bounce off of certain hits if they're hit certain ways. You're seeing how guys have more ability to recover and stumble out of these hits. You're seeing how guys are falling accurately depending on where they're hit and things like that. The other thing they're showcasing a lot are the ball carrier moves, because all of those have been redone. The jukes, the hezzies, the spins. It's a completely different ball carrier system. The jukes are a lot more short burst jukes instead of kind of being the unrealistic speed burst jukes that we've seen in years past where you can cover a lot of ground at one time. So you're seeing, you know, they're showing a lot of instances of these new moves. Again, these are new animations. These are not jukes that were in last year's game. That's how he runs in the game. You see it with Pacheco. They highlighted specifically Isaiah Pacheco running, you know, with that angry run style that he has. That's literally how he runs in real life. They might even showcase it in here with Barkley for a second. I know they have some of the guys' signature styles. They don't have everybody. I know they said that they want to build that out as the years come. They want to get as many signature stuff in the game. But as of this year, they got a lot of stuff for the, few running backs. They got a lot of stuff for wide receivers. And they got a lot of stuff for QBs, which they did showcase some of the QBs in the trailer, kind of how they take command at the line. You see it with Dak Prescott. They showed it with Tua Tagovailoa, kind of how they audible, their mannerisms, how they command the football and stuff like that. And even for some of these guys, you're going to hear their cadences in the game as well. So just trying to make player likeness a little bit more than just how they look in terms of visually, like their face or their hair, their equipment, but how they actually move on the field. Now, another new animation they showed was the Justin Jefferson one-handed catch. So I did talk about this in my previous video. There is a spectacular catch button in the game now. So you can hold the LB, L1 button to do different one-handed grabs. It's not just this one they're showing here. There's multiple different versions of it. And to me, it's just a fun thing to do. If you're open, if you have separation, it's just kind of a stylish way to make a catch. Not something you're really going to want to do if you're tightly covered. This is more so when you beat your man by a lot. If you want to just kind of have a showboat type catch and just do something with a little style, you can do that. They also are showcasing a new sideline possession catch here from Devontae Adams. And like I said in my previous video, they added over, I believe, 700 new catch animations to the game. And again, if you've played, if you're on the beta or whatever, you've seen a lot of these. There's tons of new catches. A lot of them look really good. And it's just one of those things that makes the game look different because you're seeing a lot of new things that you weren't seeing in the previous games. Now, they also showed us a little bit more of the new plays they're adding to the game with the Miami motion stuff. They're also quickly showing a lot of the other little features that came over to the game. So for example, we're seeing the different types of hot routes you can use now. So the hot routes have changed. And then also if you have an ability, they're going to be more exotic hot routes that you can put in the game. They're also showing the disguised coverage shells, which is something that we saw in college football. That's making it over to Madden. We're seeing that they briefly show the switch stick. Now this stuff were things they were cutting really quick. So you have to really slow the trailer down to even see these things, but they're just kind of letting you know that all these little things are going to be in the game. They also showed us another thing that is pretty cool here that I'm glad is finally going to be in the game. They're showing us defensive team celebration. So, the past, 5 years or so in the NFL, defensive players celebrate together after a turnover and stuff like that. Not sure why this took so long to come to the game because they've been doing a lot with celebrations over the years, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm glad they finally added this on defense because that's just something cool to see after you get a big stop. So there's updated stadiums. I don't know if there's any other stadiums that have any major updates, but we know Gillette was one of the bigger ones. They're also showing that there are improved contextual reactions, meaning players knowing where they're at on the field, knowing where to fall. And this kind of plays into the physics system and the ball carrier stuff, how you can break tackles and bounce off people, but you're doing it in a way that is accurate and makes sense based on where you're getting hit, like I previously said, but kind of showing you that they're going to be more aware of where they're at, which is a good thing. That's something Madden has struggled with at times in the past, of players not being fully aware of where the first down marker is or where the sideline is. But the trailer also showed a lot of stuff that I'm going to break down in a minute here that we didn't know, and I think they put in this minute and 20 seconds, a lot of new things in here, more so than in previous years, which is probably my favorite thing about the trailer. Usually every year with Madden trailers, we see a lot of the same animations. We might see a couple new ones, but it's a lot of just up close shots and seeing a lot of stuff we've already seen before. This reveal trailer, they've shown pretty much everything new in it in a short period of time. And I've seen some people say, oh, I've seen this before, it looks the same. And I really don't know what to say to that, because I'm going to break it down in a second here, but we're seeing mostly all new stuff in this trailer in terms of the movement, the running, the different ball carrier animations, the new kickoff, some of the new features they sprinkled in there, which I'll slow down and point out. I like to see that. They also showed us a glimpse at the new ranking system. Now, I don't know if this is for regs or for MUT. I'm not sure. It could be for both. I think they might both be using the same ranking system, but you could see there's different divisions and kind of how you tier up. And a big thing this year is making the online head-to-head for both regs and Ultimate Team matter a lot more than it has in the past. Your wins and who you're beating and the team you're using, all that stuff should matter. College football is doing the same thing as well, which I think is great. If you're going to have online stuff, you've got to make the games matter. You've got to make who you're playing win. For a while here in Madden, the leaderboards were way too focused on just the amount of games played. They factored in way too much, so they've redone that, which I think is great. That's going to make online much more engaging in my opinion. Now, if you want to know more details about what we already know about certain game mode features for Madden 25, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.